I wish I would have known.
Hello, good evening, everyone. How are we today? Um, Apologies for actually starting late. If you can hear me, good evening from wherever you're joining us from today. I was so sorry for starting this today's Azure Studies series very late. We are kind of 19 minutes, a bit 19 minutes behind our time. We're sorry about that. This was due to some technical issue. Hope you're ready for today's study series. Are you as excited as I am for today's series? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can actually hear me. Could you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, so I believe everyone can hear me. I don't know why my people are not saying me very well. Um, okay. So on today's topic, we're diving into AI. So on today's topic, we're going to be talking about get started with AI agents development on Azure. And before further ado, let me share my screen for you guys. Please do let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, guys? Let me see. Give me a thumbs up if you see my screen. Okay, sorry about my screen. Let me reshare that again. Um, okay, so let me know if you guys can see my slide. So if you guys can see my slide, can I have like a thumbs up to know if you guys can see my slide? Can I have a thumbs up or a yes if you can see my slide and if you can hear me very well? I hope you guys all can hear me. So if you can hear me, let me have a thumbs up. Okay, thank you so much. So on today's topic, we are kickstarting. I know for a while now, especially this community, we've been talking about AI for a very long time now, but we really want to, like, we know there are some people that don't really know how to go about this AI. They've been hearing it, AI. They don't know like the step to take, how to dive into this, how to dive into AI world, how to dive into this into AI. So we're not like, okay, we know we've been speaking about this for a very long time. If you go to our YouTube page, you see a lot of YouTube and LinkedIn page, you're going to see a lot of studies, that a lot of study series we've done regarding AI, but we're not like, okay, let's still bring it down, because there are some people that are just like, they've been hearing this AI, but they just want to take it a little serious now. And some people might be feeling, oh, the train has left them. Where would they begin? So that's what boys and that's what bet this study series. Like, okay, I know that we know that a lot have been done in AI. However, there are some people that have not really started anything on AI and they would like to, okay, start since AI is in vogue now. We've decided to bring this series to you and we hope you're going to enjoy this series. We hope that it's going to be a lot of series whereby we are going to have a different speakers. This is just an introductory number. This is the first series in this AI, and there are going to be a lot of professional speakers that are going to coming from Microsoft. We have our MVPs, we have a lot of professionals that are going to take you through this journey of AI with Azure. I bet you're going to enjoy your stay, going to enjoy the study, this particular series. So today, on today's topic, once again, um, I want to kickstart this today's topic by apologizing once again. Apologies for starting late. We are sorry for starting late. So on today's topic, and I welcome everybody from wherever you're joining us from. Today's topic, we're going to be getting started with AI agent development on Azure. So today's topic is about getting started with AI development on Azure. You're going to see, and we're going to like get to know how we can develop an AI agent with Azure. And so, without further ado, okay, starting today's topic. So you might want to like kind of ask, yeah, you'll be hearing of AI. So the first question that could come to your mind is like, what are AI agents? First of all, you need to know that I guess probably whenever you hear an agent, what could come to your mind could be a chatbot. But I'm here to tell you that AI agent is kind of a little is far beyond just a chatbot. Yes, you could see probably what could come to your mind when you see when you hear about agent could be like a chatbot, but it's definitely beyond a chatbot. It's more intelligent than a chatbot. It's beyond a chatbot. That icon you are seeing, it does a lot of things. And we could tell you that AI agent is kind of autonomous entity. It combines a large language model with the tools to perform complex tasks by interpreting users and their environment. So with AI agent uses cognitive ability. So it interprets input and environment context. So you can tell the AI now to kind of like, oh, you can ask a question and the AI is going to download, it's going to give you any question you ask an AI. Probably, I know maybe at the end of the class, some people might ask, okay, what is the difference between a normal chatbot and an Azure an AI agent or just an AI agent? Don't worry, I have you. By the end of the class, you will understand the difference between it. So we have like memory learning. There's the good thing about when it comes to AI agent is that it's learn. For example, let's say if you ask a question, it's going to like it provides you the answer, and it's like a continuous learning. It's kind of learn and update its database. It's database. Maybe based on the information you give to it, from there it can learn and update and give you more information, more profound information regarding what you can train. Like you can train the AI and it can learn. It can learn from data, it can learn from your interaction with it. There are some people that, for example, the AI you're using, you could see that sometimes it has learned to the extent that it knows your name. From frequent interaction, you've been interacting with this AI, it has learned to the extent that it knows your name. Probably it could tell you, "Hi, welcome." We know we have a lot of AI. We have Chat GTP, we have Copilot, we have a lot of AIs involved currently. So we even have S S deep S has its own AI. We have DeepSeek AI. There are lots of AIs and other different specific AI. So when I say other different specific AI, we're kind of like AI has been really integrated into a lot of things we are doing. For example, the WhatsApp we are using, we have a section whereby you can ask WhatsApp AI about things. Instagram, you have a place where you can ask Instagram AI. We have Facebook, we have a place where you can ask the Facebook AI. So almost all our applications we are using have been integrated with AI. So we can always kind of we are really exposed to AI. And this AI, it's kind of learn. So, for example, if you've been using AI for a long time, believe me, maybe let's say from the first time you started using your AI, it could maybe it did not greet you. It wasn't greeting you, or maybe it wasn't even saying, "Hello, Catherine, what can I do for you today?" Or, but with time, based on the data you've been given and everything, the AI can like even greet you. It can call your name. For example, when you kind of give it information, for it to give you an output, you're like, "Oh, Catherine, this is this." And for example, where I say it can learn is that sometimes when you give it information and it did not like give you what you are expecting, you could put impute impute what you're expecting, like, "Oh, I was expecting this particular information." It will like, "Oh, so sorry." It could call your name and like, "So sorry, okay, this is this." It will even elaborate more on based on what you are kind of you're kind of expecting. And sometimes based on how you'll be interacting with this AI, based on your history. There are some questions you ask this AI. At the end of the day, it structures the answer based on your history, based on what you have been asking the AI. That is, the AI has learned to some extent. It knows how to give you some information, related information. So other things about AI agent is that it's tool integration. You can integrate it. It has this capacity whereby you can integrate it to your workflow. For example, I've mentioned a lot of AIs that has been integrated into our app. WhatsApp, we have AI that is integrated into WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. So these are AI agent can easily be integrated. Then autonomous tasks, it can perform, it can multitask, it can do a lot of things. Yeah, it can do a lot of things beyond like the level of speed it multitask, I guess is far beyond humans. Yeah. So the next question is going to be AI agent service overview. So you can like asking that. So for us now, we're going to look at overview of AI service agents. So AI service agents support multiple models. Let's say ChatGPT. Sorry about my mispronunciation. GPT. So in terms of ChatGPT, we're going to use, for example, the practical we're going to do today. We are using a model. We're using a Chat GPT model 4. So it supports lots of models. Examples of these models are Chat GPT. Then again, it integrates like advanced tools, including code interpreter, web search, file search, and also agent functionality. So from our demonstration today, from the practical we're going to do, you see that you see the way we kind of use code interpreter. So for you, you might be like, okay, I understand that there are some prerequisites you need to have, probably like in terms of understanding a little of Python. So these days now, they already trained model. You don't need to go that extra mile of like, okay, I need a Python knowledge to be able to train my model. There are already a lot of thousands of trained models. So you can take that opportunity to like, yeah, do whatever you want to do with AI, because we already have a lot of trained models you can use. So we're going to core components of AI agents. So in Azure, or let's say, yeah, in Azure now, the components of AI, what you expect is your projects. What is the name of your project? You need a project. So as we're going to go through the demonstration, the demo, you're going to see, first of all, you need a project. Then you need your agents. So the agent is not like your model. One model you need. For us, we are going to deploy an agent, and the model is going to be Chat GPT for 4.0. That's the model we are going to use. We know that they have a lot of models. They even have one Chat GPT of 4.1 and the rest 3 point something, all of those things. But we are going to base on this thing. Now, these are the features. When we say core component, these are the features of Azure AI agent. We have project, we have the agent, we have the trade, and we have message. Sorry, what happened here? We have message, we have trade, we have message, we have tools, and we have run. All of these things, when it comes to trade, the trade is just like a conversation. So it maintain the history. If you've been using any of those AI, by let's say by the right hand side of your application, you should see title, you should see a lot of things that you have kind of used. You should see your trade, like history of what you've been communicating, what you've been using this AI agent for, what you've been using your AI for. So you will see a lot of trade, it give you history, and it's good because sometimes you might want to go back to the history of what you have asked before. So you can easily go back to click on. on your previous conversation with. So we have tools that kind of the tools now that it expand the agent capabilities. So you're going to see all of these things. Definitely you click on run and your agent is going to run and display your task. Sorry, if you have a question, could you drop it in the chat box for me? So before we can go through the deployment of this AI agents, Azure AI agents, there are some prerequisites you need to kind of have. The first one is, excuse me, you need to have an, excuse me, please. You need to have like an Azure subscription. So when you have an Azure subscription, you have to go to, apart from just having an Azure subscription, in your portal, Azure portal, you're going to make use of Azure portal and you're going to make use of Azure AI Foundry portal. So you might be asking, okay, I've been hearing about AI Foundry portal. What's the AI Foundry portal all about? What is Azure AI Foundry? The Foundry is like a platform that gives you the ability for you to kind of create, design, and deploy any um, AI related um, stuff that you want to. So, and you're talking of okay, what platform? If you want to like design or create, let's say an AI agent now, the application you will need to use to launch this thing, the application that maintain this AI agent that gives you the ability to create, to design, or that maintain the code, everything you need is called AI Foundry. Then the Azure AI user role. Of course, you know in terms of security, there are role you need to have a role. So you cannot just kind of have a subscription and that is all. You know, we have different type of subscription. On in this particular, for you to be able to deploy our Azure AI agent now, you need ownership role. You have to have an ownership role before you can deploy. Though here it's saying that you need Azure AI user role. Yeah, there are sometimes you, apart from this use Azure user role, I think you having Azure you having like ownership role gives you, remember it gives you that overhead um privileges, give you enough privileges. So there was a point where I was deploying it told me I need to have, that's a prerequisite, not just you having a AI user role, you should have ownership role before you can deploy. And there's still another prerequisite that apart from you being having an owner role, there's still another thing which is you need to kind of like quota. It's because there was a point I was deploying again. I kind of I encountered an issue. My quota was already has been exhausted. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just use the Microsoft lane, the launching. I'm just going to try through the Microsoft lane to deploy this. And there are some locations that this can be deployed with. It's not all locations in Azure that you'll be able to deploy Azure AI agents. So the next slide is about creating your first agent, definitely. So what we're going to do, this is just a breakdown. You access the Azure portal, you start your agent creation, you configure it, you deploy it and provision it. You test in the playground. The playground is where you can, whatever you've deployed, you can test run it to see if it's actually working. So testing and running your agents. So in terms of testing and running your agent, first of all, you kind of like create trade manages your conversation and your context. Then you send messages So impute users and observe agent respond. The messages impute the user, it observes your agent respond. Then in terms of utility, so utilize tools now. The utilize tool kind of engage advanced capacity like the code interpreter. So in terms of utilize, so you have the code interpreter that can interpret your code for you. Then we have monitor rooms. It review your execution history and conversation log for effective debugging. Let's go to the next slide. So you could be curious and like, okay, I understood what AI agent is now. So what are the use cases? How can I relate it to what I'm doing? This is the perfect time to be able to relate Azure AI agent to what you're doing. Now I know that most of us will remember when you mentioned AI agent, what will come to your mind is kind of a bot. Most organizations these days integrate like an agent websites, into their applications. That sometimes if you open an app, you could see that an agent is there. There's a chatbot icon that is already asking you a question about what you want. How can they help you today? So if you want to bring it down to like relating, using Azure AI, relating it to the real world scenario, where the areas which you can use Azure AI is customer support. Yes, you can use AI. This is the most common one. When you open a website, most websites today, whenever you open a website, you are always going to see that bot that it even has this kind of it have this kind of icon that you be it have this kind of icon already. If you can see my slide, that it's there to answer your queries. There are some applications, there are some website that the chatbot will even have to answer you first, and before it can present to you a real human to answer you. Yeah, I don't know if there are a lot of websites like that. For example, the one I can remember that all these our exam website, the exam website we use in writing our exams. Before it's probably if you could not finish, you couldn't write your exam, you have issue with your voucher. I can't remember that particular website again. When you open when you create a ticket, before they can present a real human end to answer you, this chatbot will have to take your information like your name, your email address, what issue you are kind of encountering. So based on the issue you're encountering, after picking up those information, then it will not like, oh, please wait, an agent will kind of attend to you. So a real human is kind of going to attend to you. So in terms of relating it to real world scenario, we have data analysis. So AI agent can generate comprehensive report from diverse data sets. So you know these are pre-trained models already. So you can use it like you can use it to get already existing data for you. So in terms of healthcare insight, so for healthcare, you can use it in healthcare to get an insight into like clinical and patient data. You that is an aspect, healthcare insight. So in terms of healthcare insight, you can use AI agent to get your insight in terms of clinical and patient data. For your patient data, you can probably maybe for those in the abroad, you when you are kind of trying to book for your appointment with GP, probably there are some, maybe if you go to the website, it could kind of like ask you some questions before it to present to you a real human agent that will answer you, or you can pull out your information and probably book the appointment even without a real human. And the agent, the data are the organization, the hospital can always store patient data. Yeah. can only store the patient's data. Let's say gone are those days that when you come to any hospitals, what you're going to see is that typically the Nigerian hospital, especially the general hospitals, the public one, what you see a lot there, whenever you get in there, you see a stack of you kind of see a stack of when you when you get to a room, there's a room where they stack your folders and file. These days, modernized hospital doesn't do that anymore. They have a database where they store your information. They can pull this information for you. Then we have workflow orchestration. So we kind of Azure AI agent can help you to coordinate multiple agents for complex integrated processes. It's going to help you to it's going to help you to coordinate multiple agents for your complex. It's help you to integrate a lot of things. You can automate with AI. You can automate your workflow with AI. A lot of things you can do with AI. So it's kind of scrap with using AI to automate a lot of things. You are hearing that a lot of organizations now are laying off staff because things that humans were doing before. You and I know that AI can do it faster, better, even without partiality or without emotions. Some people now, let's say for example, if you go to let's say for example now, a situation whereby maybe normally you went to an organization that humans are meant to respond to you. Maybe the reception is meant to answer you, or the secretary is meant to answer you. Probably the secretary could just looking at you, maybe your look will offend the secretary and it might tell you, okay, the person you want to see or whatever you want to do at that moment is not available. You should come back, or they will just give you attitude. AI cannot give you attitude. AI does not work with feelings. AI is not partial. That's a good thing with AI. So you could ask some questions. Okay, as a developer, what platform can I even use to develop your AI? Definitely, we have an Azure AI Foundry SDK. So the Foundry SDK is where you can develop your AI. For example, you could say, okay, I'm not, and if you said you want to kind of use a .NET, use another language apart from Python, the SDK is there for you, gives you that opportunity to use approved languages that is enabled in Azure SDK for you to go and build and manage your agent. So you're not limited to just Python alone. I think there is .NET there. If I'm not mistaken, I think there should be JS there. Then custom to integration. So in terms of consult tools in integration, Azure Functions and Open AI, it kind of extend capabilities. So you can customize your tones, you can customize what you want to do to kind of Azure Function will kind of integrate with your Open AI. So they kind of have they can integrate, they can extend capacity within themselves. Then authentication, of course, you can always authenticate. That's where the security comes in now. You always need to authenticate. So you can authenticate via Azure CLI. Yeah, you can authenticate via if you're using the SDK software development tools. You can authenticate using Azure CLI. The resources, we have a lot of libraries. Let's say for example, we have Learn and we have GitHub. So with your GitHub, you have a lot of samples. One beautiful thing about tech is that whatever you're trying to do, you're going to have like someone would have done it before now. Before you having the need to trying to do what you want to do, someone probably must have kind of done what you're trying to do. There's always going to be like a sample, an opportunity where you leverage on what other people have done. So there's going to be a sample for you to kind of like have opportunity to leverage on what others have done. So with your GitHub, you have you have samples of code that sometimes not necessarily that the samples of code will give you an insight to what you want to develop. For example, you want to develop an AI agent now for your organization whereby maybe it is in terms of maybe aviation industry now. You want to like the AI agent you're developing is that whenever people open your website to kind of log in, check in, AI does that everything. So when it's time for your flight, all you need to do is also pass through physical security and log in your bag and just go in there. So you're going to tailor your agent as a developer now. If you're a developer, there's opportunity for you to tailor your agent according to what you want, how you want it, what you want to deploy, what you want to develop. So for example, the example we're going to do today, you're going to see the example we're going to do today. And if it is not related to what you want, maybe your own aspects, what you want to the client want to develop this for is for aviation. If it's not for aviation, if it's not for sales, maybe it's for hospitality, any organization, bear in mind that you can develop an AI agent for this for any organization. The code are there. There's an insight. The code gives you an insight how you're going to tweak it to your own aspect to what you want. So as a developer, you can use the SDK. You can equally use the AI Foundry portal. You can use AI Foundry portal, you can test, there's a playground there where you can test run. So if you're not comfortable, you use the models that are there already. You use what you're trying to achieve or looking at what's existing one. From the existing one, you have an insight to create what you actually want to create, what you want to create for yourself or for your organization. So far, before we go to summary and next step, uh, do we have do we have a question? I think we need to like go for the deployment. Any questions so far? Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. Right now, before we go for any summary, looking at timing, let's dive into having the practical aspect of this AI. So I am going to go to this. Let me duplicate this. So you need to first of all remember the prerequisite I said earlier on. We have Azure. You need to have an Azure portal. You need to have Azure subscription. So you can use the to deploy whatever you want. So today we're going to like explore AI agent. This is AI agent we're going to explore. This is what we are going to deploy. We are going to explore AI agents. After we explore it, we'll ask the agent some questions and the agent will give us inputs based on what we have deployed. We're going to deploy a model of chat GPT or 4.0. So let's go straight to our deployment. Let me see. I believe you guys can still see my screen. Okay, going back here. First of all, we go to overview. For the benefit of you guys that have not deployed this thing before now, deploy this thing before now, the first thing you need to do is getting your address. You can just type aiazure.com. If you did not remember, there's a way you can actually go through. You can go to Azure portal like this. Then the next thing you need to do is type search for AI agents. If you see my search, you can actually see it there. Sorry, search for AI Foundry, not AI agent now. Remember, the Foundry is the environment the platform where we can design, create, maintain all our code and everything regarding our AI agent. So from the Azure portal, whenever you just go straight up, and you go straight up, the next thing is you have to click create resources. So you're going to create resources. This is you creating resources. So I don't have enough quota, so I'm going to actually be following their instruction to create my agent, and we're going to ask our agent some few questions based on the agent we create. So we ask our agent some few questions. The first thing we need to do is to so I'm showing you this, so we do it together. So first thing we need to do, when we're going to download, when you go, this is the portal. When you go to the portal, this is the portal which I am already in this is it. The next thing is you need to name your AI agent. So you need to create an agent, then you name it. If you're following this instruction, remember it said, like what I said earlier on, it's not all locations that support Azure or AI service. So there are some selected one. I think the popular one I've used so far is uh E2 US West also here. So you need your AI resources, you need subscription, you need resource group and region. So we're going to create. Could you guys suggest a name that we can use for our AI agent? We can nickname our AI agent on in this demo in this class. Are we there? Okay, so um okay, can we go? Somebody is saying here he wants to see slide 6 again. If you're seeing my screen, let me go to slide 6. I have to. Okay, so this slide 6 is just giving you a step of what you're going to do. First of all, you access the portal, you start your agent creation, you configured and deploy and provision. So now we are in the portal and I want to start agent creation. Then after we create it, remember we configured. Like I said, we are going to use a model which is Chat GPT or 4.0. That's the model we're going to use. Then we'll deploy and provision. By the time you deploy and provision, you're going to test run what you have deployed. So I'm going to create a new resource group, which is, let me say, AI test, sorry, AI tests dash RG. Sorry. So the region we are is East US. We are using East US. This is supported. Then the name of the project, we're going to use, let's go back to ensure that if you're just deploying this ourselves, we can put, remember you can put any name. Let's go and check the instruction if it asks us to put any name here. So it says create and wait for, first of all, we are going to download. There are some things we need to download, but however, we've not reached that this thing. So I think we can just give it any name at this point, but it's telling us we should ensure we pick chat GPT or 4.0, and either you pick your standard or global standard or standard. Okay, this is the place. So I believe we're free to give it any name. Okay. 1 minute, please. I would just like to, I hope if you're still with me, I would just like to use this one. Sorry. Let's go afresh. Okay, so I don't want us to get kind of this thing, get lost. So first of all, remember, let's start. If you're starting, just click on this ai.azure.com. Once you click on ai.azure.com, the next thing you're going to do is create an agent. So remember, if you go to one of the slides, is slide I said, the first thing you need when creating when creating this agent is first of all your project. It will generate a project for you, a name for you, but you can just give it any name. Let's say AI dash study series 01.
That number is used in some locations for emergencies. Do you want to call 01 or emergency services?
Hi Siri, I'm not talking to you. So remember, this is your subscription. Remember, we say you need to have a project, your subscription, your resources. So definitely creating this, it's kind of give us a resource. It automatically generates a resource group for us. Then this is our resources, our new resources. We'll click create. If you're following as well, just click create. So instead of going through the Azure portal, right, I am just going through I'm not going through the portal anymore. Though it's the same kind of, it's the same thing. You can see, but I just want to follow based on having following an instruction. Just want to follow that. So it can take a while for this to be developed, to be deployed. So while deploying, just in case you're following me, I don't know if some of you are, yeah, in case you're following me, don't worry. At the end of the day, I'm going to drop this link for you guys. So in case you're following me, already I have deployed. The next thing we need to start creating our project. The next thing we need to do is to create our agents. So by the time we create our agent to deploy the model we want our agent to be based on, already then we should, this is our data, this is our data set, this is what we want, this is the information we want our agent to give to. We want to extract information. This, when we're asking our agent question, is based on this information we have already. It's based on this So this is called expense policy. Let's go back to ensure to see if our project has been deployed. It's kind of going. Going back to this. So after our agent is deployed, the next thing we need to do, we click on this. We bear in mind I have downloaded it before now. So what this agent is going to be based on is going to be telling us, like in a corporate world now, like in an organization, the agent that deploy. Let's say we are in an organization now, and this is the agent we want to deploy. We want to deploy this agent to kind of like give us expenses. So when we deploy the agent, we are going to ask the agent based on the data set we have that we have trained the model with, or given to the model. We are going to ask some questions. So we'll ask some question for the model, like we want to claim a meal. For example, if you're in an organization, you want like, there are some organization that gives meal, that gives you a meal. So probably want to claim your ticket, you ask the agent. So this agent now is you're going to ask the agent if you have a claim, you have a voucher to claim, if you have a claim, a meal ticket to claim. If you have it based on your information, um, if you input your information and looking through your email and what the information you put is going to tell you yes or no if you have a meal ticket to kind of claim. Let's go back to our project. Oh, so sorry. Please, we should have finished by now. This is 608. Based on we started late, please could you guys just give us a grace? I believe by 6:30, I'm promising you we'll leave this place. Thank you so much. So remember, we'll create our project. The next thing we need to do is to create our model. And I've been singing it that. So there are a lot of models that you can use. Remember, these models are already been trained. So you can use, we have Meta here, we have Elema, if I'm pronouncing it well, Mystery Small, we have Meta, we have Cohere, we have Mystery, we have lots of agents, model here. But the one we want to work on today is our 4.0, not mini, just major 4.0. So we what we need to do is to click on confirm. We want to confirm that we are using 4.0. Remember, it's going to you either pick data deployment type, data zone standard. No, I don't think this is what we want. We want a global standard. You either can pick a global standard or pick standard. That these are the two recommended ones. So let's go for global standard. Upgrade once new deployment version. That's the next thing. Let me see what it's saying. There's a problem here. It's not picking. Let's go for standard and see. Okay, I think my quota for standard has been exhausted. So that's why there is no opportunity for me to kind of click on deploy. So we are deploying standard. I remembered I've deployed a lot of global standard. So all we need to do is just picking that either standard or global standard. So you don't really, the good thing about this is that you don't really need to know much. For Daniel that is asking the question, if you require to know development on Azure, I know most of you, your question, your worries could be, oh, but I'm not a software developer. How can I interact with this? How can I deploy this or develop this? How can I play with this? So already You don't need the knowledge of machine learning to train any model. We already have thousands of pre-trained model existing already. So you just leverage on that opportunity. That's what you need. All you need to do is to leverage on pre-trained model that already existed. So you don't need to be a developer to be able to interact with these things. So for example, just this one, just by following this instruction here, you can create your own, like the pre-trained ones we have here. This example, once you follow, you can create yours. And after you create yours and you've been playing with it, you can actually kind of tweak it in a way that you want. Next time you want to create now, you might not want to create anything corporate expenses anymore. You want to probably create a chatbot for an organization that has maybe answer some specific information, or create a chatbot for your organization, or create an agent, Azure AI agent for your organization that answers some specific question, or that monitors your environment and dictates some things for some information, gives you some information, or monitors your environment for you. Um, so after we create our agent and we'll have picked our model, yeah, the next thing is to create our, after picking our model, yeah, the next thing is to create our agents. So we're going to create our agent, and remember they say the name of our agent should be, it should be expense agent. Remember, we are using instruction, or a laid down instruction already. But if you're doing this on your own without following this instruction, you can actually give your model, you can actually give your agent any name, not this particular name. But based on we are working on an existing data set, we need to like name this, follow what they say. So going back to this, where we, oh my god, I have a bit missed it up with the one I had to. Okay, so let me see the one we were meant to use. So let's go to overview to have so this, in case you might be asking, what's the need of this API key? This API key, if you are using the SDK, this is where you integrate, you use the API key to connect. Now, since we're using the portal, we don't need this API key for now. So let's check our agent. Do we have any agent here? I have missed this. I should have closed this one. So we have our agent here. Go back to our, okay, so I mix it up. I want to have information of which one we were deploying in this class. So this is Catherine John underscore 2. Definitely this is not the one we are deploying. Let me move to the second one to verify. Go to the overview and check. Interesting. So this is our resource group, Catherine John underscore system. Yeah, so from the name, just in case, this could happen to anyone. So just in case, this is where you can see from your Foundry project name that you give to it. There are a lot of, if you're working in an organization, definitely might have a lot of projects on AI agents you're working on. So the easiest way to dictate is this is the name of our agent, and this is the name I vividly gave it to in this class. Let's go back to the other one. So the first one I did before this class was sales agent. So it's quite different from this. Let me push it far away. Yeah. So it doesn't confuse us again. So we have it. The next thing after our model is our agent now. And the name we are meant to give to the agent is expense agent. So someone is asking about how we can, Daniel, you're asking about how we can use agent, how we can use. Do I get your question really? How can we use AI agent on the local computer or cloud? Do we use agent on the local computer or cloud? Okay, your question is either using your local computer or cloud. So you are using on the cloud, can use on the cloud. If you're to use like on your local computer, let's say for example you have to use the SDK whereby you use your this thing, your Visual Studio Code and use the SDK, the CL Azure CLI. But with that you have to integrate to your to the cloud. So you cannot just wake up and do it without the cloud. The information and everything, the the models, everything are on the cloud. So you can't just bring up your laptop without connecting to Azure. Remember, the platform you're using to deploy this thing is called Azure AI Foundry. You need to connect to the cloud before you'll be able to use this. So definitely you're using the cloud. That you can use your Visual Studio Code to aid your, if you want to like, now you've understood everything and you want to train, you want to like deploy your own agent. You know, these are sample we are using. If you want to like kind of code your own, bring up a code and tweak the code to your to what you want. You might bring up your Visual Studio Code, but you will still need to connect to this thing. You still need to connect to the cloud because you must have your subscription before this will work. Sorry. Sorry about that. So the next thing what we need to do is we want to create our agent, and remember the name of our agent is going to be expensive expense. So whenever you click create, the next thing you will see, it will automatically give you a name. So all you need to do, just go to any of those things, um to any of it and edit the this thing. So it won't give you opportunity to, when you to impute it, it will just automatically create one for you, edit the name. So don't get stuck. When you edit the name, the next thing you need to do is add knowledge. When you add knowledge, remember that the knowledge is like, okay, we are adding knowledge, and the knowledge we are having, we are adding a data set. The data set that our agent will be replying us from. This is what we are uploading this data set. So I remember I've downloaded this before now. So on a local computer, I will go and bring up the data set that I downloaded. Okay, create a new vector. Okay, I need to give it a name here. I don't know if it's this expense agent, but let's go back to the instruction. So for the, okay, so I'm just going to give it any name here. We'll give our vector any name. After giving our vector any name, the next thing is, this is the instructions we are going to, these are questions we're going to ask our AI agent. Okay, so from your local computer, this is, you have to look for where you downloaded these data sets. Let me see. expensive policy. This is it. So I will just go upload my expensive policy, upload, click on upload and save. So once it's saved, the next thing we need to do is to add an action to it. So why should do we need to add an action to this thing? After giving it the knowledge you want it to base on, the information you want this thing to extract and give to you. The next thing is, what action do you want it to perform? So let's click action. We need to create an action. Remembered when we are talking about tools, we talk about code interpreter. So our code interpreter will be the one to interpret our code. This is the tools we are using. So we click code interpreter. The next thing all you need to do is to, since you create your interpreter, just click save. So once you save, the next thing you need to do is to go to your playground. So your playground is going to be where you interact with this information in the data set you have. You need to extract based on your data set, you need to extract information, ask your agent questions. So what we need to do is to ask this question. This is it. So the question, you are an AI agent for corporate expenses. You answer question about expenses based on the expensive policy. Remember the data set we have was expenses policy data. So if a user want to submit an expense claim, you get their email address, description of the claim and the amount to be claimed, and write the claim to a text file that the user can download. So this is the action we are expecting our agent to do. We have given it a data that comprises of claims, email address and description of the description of the claim detail. The claim detail, their email address. First of all, need to their name, their email address, and description of the email. This thing. For example, now we want to claim a meal ticket. So this is what we have. Remember, let's say we call for example, now we call our company like should we say which name should we call our company now? For example, we call our company uh, um Gladys company. And what we are doing at this point is that we ensure that we employ that our staff are well fed. They don't need to, when it comes to break, they don't need to go up and down to be looking for food. We give them monthly a meal ticket where they will go use the agents chatbots. They're going to like interact, claim their meal and go to downstairs, let's say, to pick up their meal. Sure you understand? So this is the knowledge our agent is based on. You can wake up after this class now and do your own, deploy your own and say, okay, in your organization, there are people that are coming late. You want to know people that are always coming to work. You want to reward. Probably your organization has want to reward staff and like, okay, you want to reward staff. You can deploy a model whereby you like put the name of the staff, how they clock in, and okay, the time they clock in, then their name, their email, the time they clock in. Or you can just say you want to reward staff, maybe, or you deploy a model that staff that are already exiting the company, they have a legacy behind. They have like a where they sign, where they can just I remember there's a company I was like, when you come to the wall of the company, you're going to see names of people that have left the company. It is imprinted on it. As you go in, you are signing. So Catherine John was here, put the year, put the time. That's like new people, whenever they come
Plus
in.
234 901.
Whenever they call me, they're going to like, oh, I'm so sorry, the time is almost we've almost exhausted the time. So after we input this thing, the next thing now you click enter. So we enter. So you can deploy a model whereby people that are leaving, they can, as they are leaving, they can go to the agents you have deployed. They input their name and
Plus 234.
when they started and when they are going, their exit timing and farewell messages for them. Then they can claim a gift. So you can do a lot of things right from this be creating, getting claiming a meal ticket. You can go and you can go now and get more insight to deploy your own model according to what you want, fine tune your model to what you want in your tailor it to your organizational need. So now the next thing is what I'm going to, based on the information, the action we want the agent to do now. What is going to ask for the agent to give us what we want? The first prerequisite is that we need an email address. We need a description of it's going to give us the description of the claim and the amount that we are going to claim. So let's go back to the instruction. So going back to the instruction now. We've passed all this one. Remember that I didn't look at it when I had all those things in order. So we're going to test. Our playground is for us to test. First of all, since we have deployed our environment, now these are we test what we have done. What we are going to say now is that what is the maximum a staff will come now and impute this question. Okay, I need a clean. First of all, before I clean anything, I want to know the maximum amount I can clean. Let's ask our agent. The next thing that our agent is going to tell us is let's await the answer our agent is going to give to us. Apologies, I've been prompted for our timings. Sorry, we have 2 minutes to go, but we're going to go. So if you have any other question, please put it there. So what we kind of have now is what's the maximum we can claim. It's telling us that the maximum we can claim now is between 50 to 75 for dinner and between 25, 15 to 25 for lunch. So now, so since we are aware of what we can claim, the next thing is let's put our email. Remember that it has our email based on the information on our organization. This is one of us. This is one of the name in that organization. Once you impute, let's see how much this person can claim so far with his or her email. So now it's telling us, thank you for providing our email. So it's telling us that we should thank you for providing our email, that we should go for description of the claim. So what do we want our claim to be? Is it meal claim or is it travel accommodation? So today what we want to claim a meal ticket, then the amount. So let's check here. So we said we want a breakfast that costs, since our claim, we can claim from 70 to from 50 to 75 if I'm not mistaken, and from 15 to 20. We say we want to claim a 20. Oh dear Lord, where am I? So let's go. Sorry, I went to the wrong place. So here we are. Let's say we want a breakfast of 20. Remember what we are claiming is being 75, 50 to 75. So we want a breakfast. Our name is Fred and our company is Contoso. So we said we want 20 ticket meal. So it's say our claim expense claim. It brought out our email, then the description, breakfast, then the amount. The next thing we need to do we will soon be leaving here. Thank you guys for your patience. So it has brought out our information. That's the end. It has given us the information of our claim. So we can go now and and claim this. So once we present this information, he has given us what we needed. We can have our meal. So that's the end of today's class. Next week we'll be doing something more intense. This is just like an introductory this thing, and apologies for delaying you guys. Any further question? So it has let me prepare the file for you. Once it's ready, you share and download. So once you download this, you don't need to like go to any receptionist to stress the person. Whenever you present this claim, your this thing, your your meal be given. Let's say for example, let's bring it to let's kind of let's make it more relatable if this is not relatable for you. For example, most of us have done we have been able to claim Azure voucher before now. So Azure might decide to like okay do a chatbot that they'll just give you the this thing. They'll just give you the URL. Just go and claim your voucher. Instead of them just sending you the code now, they'll maybe want you to go through the process of claiming your voucher after undergoing through MS Lane or challenge. Once you do a challenge, so let's say they do all these things. They might even do all this. You know, they might do all these things on your behalf before they just send you a mail with a voucher. But if they don't want to do all this, they have a chatbot they deploy. All you need to do is just to go to the URL of the chatbot and input your name. You input your name and claim your voucher instead of them sending it via email for you. So you can use chatbots. You can use Azure AI chatbot to do a lot of things. Tailor it to your organization, to your organizational needs. So thank you so much, guys, for once again making it to this study series today. I kind of appreciate everyone's presence and you interacting on this class. Thank you so much. We are looking forward to having you next week. Remember, our next week topic is still going to be about AI, but a more intense one. Thank you so much. Bye for now. From us, from all of us at Azure Community, we love to have you. We love to have you again next week. See you next week, and we promise to be punctual next week, which is going to be like as 5 p.m. prompt, no African time. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your presence here today. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, friends.